Welcome to WagerTalk today, the gold standard of sports betting shows where we talk the talk and walk the walk. Dan, ladder play coming through in the clutch yesterday.
We told you. Andy came on here and he said 1.5. This line makes no sense. Ladder it up 2.5, 3.5. And what do the Mystics do, Andy? They win, I believe, by 10, correct? So as he cashed all the way up to the 9.5 rung on the ladder. We love doing that to start the show. Wager Talk today. Play of the day now moves to 51 and 40, Andy, and a nice ladder one to cash that one in. So we're happy to be here with you. What do we got on the show today? Drew Martin's coming by, 2 MLB breakdowns for you, and also college football is right around the corner. I know Drew is gearing up for that. Skee Profit's here to give you some WNBA bangers, Andy, of the lady variety. We'll talk about that with Skee here as well. But, Andy, we are a minute into the show. You know what that means. It's Wager Talk today, play of the day, and we're heading to the links. What do we got?
Yeah, it's the Tour Championship this week, so last tournament of the season. We have a 4% best bet that is up. This one is good enough for a client play, but we'll do it for a free play on the card. Sam Burns versus Cameron Young, and I like Sam Burns here. This play starts tomorrow morning. Young has absolutely cratered at the worst time of the year. His last 3 finishes are 37th, 39th, and 61st. Out of 30 golfers playing in this field, he is dead last in putting the last 30 days. Burns is 9th in the field in total strokes gained last month. Young is 23rd out of 30 golfers. Burns has easily finished ahead of Young in the first 2 playoff tournaments. Young, he's just been really inconsistent this year. 8 top 10 finishes, but also 6 finishes outside the top 40. And right now, he is just absolutely in a slump. Burns does play well here. He finished 7th last year, 13th and 4th the last 3 years. Cameron Young did finish 4th here last year, but he was in better form. When these guys get hot, you got to ride them. When these guys get cold, you got to fade them. And Cameron Young is playing the worst golf of the season. We got to take him with Sam Burns minus 120. That is a full tournament play. Make sure you're playing at full tourney, not the first round, full tourney. Should be a fascinating tournament this year. And we'll talk a little bit here in a second about some more golf news.
Yeah, and if you want some more breakdowns, a full breakdown, they do head-to-heads, they do top finishers, they give DraftKings darlings for your DFS guys. The Cut Line is live on YouTube, our channel right here. So if you want Jan and Andy's deep dive, as well as some promo on how you can hop in there, you can grab some more golf action. You can check it out here on the channel. Subscribe, and you'll know when that goes live. But it is live now.
Yeah, a couple of little news and notes. Nothing too major. Benedict Mathurin just signed a 2-year deal with the Pelicans. Scotty Scheffler has announced he's almost 100% for this week's tournament, coming off the bizarre hand, foot, and mouth disease injury, which makes no sense. Dolly Parton passed away. I knew she was kind of involved with sports. I didn't know this much. A lot of athletes, a lot of sports were just paying tribute to Dolly Parton.
Wow.
So
I think she's kind of like universally adored, you know. I think
one of the highest approval ratings you could have. Like, yes. Who's like, you know who I can't stand?
Dolly Parton. Stand that Dolly Parton and her buttermilk pancakes that you can get at the grocery store. Yeah. R.I.P.
Yeah,
that was my first concert, Andy, by the way. News and notes. My first ever concert. My grandfather took me to a Hooters, and then we went to go see Dolly Parton, so you could figure out what my grandpa was all about. You know,
very appropriate. That is on brand. That's wild. I want to talk about live betting and ladder plays. We have talked about this behind the scenes, but we got to talk about it now. Let's start with the ladder plays. We talked about playing the ladder play yesterday. I am looking hard at NFL season and taking some of these props and doing ladder plays. I think we're missing out on some money on this one. The one that sticks out last year was Michael Wilson for the Cardinals. The very first game that Marvin Harrison Jr. was out, they put his prop at like 59.5. And we were like, this guy's the only receiver on the team. And we played the over, but only the over 59.5. He went for 175. Have you done ladder plays here, Dans? Because this needs to be a part of our arsenal moving forward. Not every day, but when you find a spot like yesterday, we could have hit how many plus money bets on that play. I mean, that could have been a change your month type of play. So have you done ladder plays?
Well, so I have done them, Andy. I don't do them as much as maybe I should, but that's also because a lot of the times if a line is so hammered in, like if you really think you have a huge edge, okay, that's when you ladder. But it's such a few and far in between. You don't want to get into practice, in my opinion, of doing it all the time, because then you're also potentially giving back a bunch of what you do. So if you are laddering and you say, for something that you like that much, Andy, that would have been, let's say 4%. And if you are going to ladder it up, you have to break that 4%. It's not a 4% on that bet, and then you ladder it up as well. You spread that 4% across the ladder. So it's something that, yes, I enjoy doing, Andy. It's just, the spots that I have an edge in like lacrosse, there aren't alt lines where I can be, laddering some things up. So yes, I would love to do it more. I feel like player props, maybe, Andy, what we'll do coming up this NFL season, maybe we find for some of these primetime games, just a fun one that we'll do. But coming up in the NFL season, maybe we ISO in on some player props that are worthwhile of a ladder of, 10, 15 yards or so.
Yeah, and the way you do it, you don't play like one unit on 10 different rungs. You take, take a 2 units and split it up into a bunch. It's hard to hit some of these plus money plays, but if you hit, like if we would have hit the one yesterday, think about it, we could have hit 7 or 8 plus money play. How often can you hit plus money on 7 or 8 different plays? So it feels like
not often.
Fairly low. Yeah. So
and on one handicap, you know what I mean? And on one cap. Yeah.
Yes. So ladder plays are going to be a big part of it moving forward. All right. Live betting. This has been, over the last few years, the biggest revelation for me, and it's becoming more and more evident to me that live betting is I'm betting more on live bets than I am pre-bets, particularly in MMA. And I'm not giving out any more Contender Series plays for clients because we've lost a couple in a row, and yet on the live show we're up big. So last night, Bellamere was the biggest favorite in Contender Series history, Dan, minus 3,600. She's a collegiate wrestler. Her dad is Frank Mir. And what does she do? She comes out and tries not to wrestle. She tries to show off her striking. Okay. And it goes horrible. Well, if you would have just played that before and not done any live betting, you got creamed. We were able to grab plus 280, plus 270, and minus 110 just in the third round. If you guys are not live betting and you really want to take your bankroll serious, I think you just have to make it a point to include live betting, figure it out, get good at it. There's a lot of shows that you can follow. We do UFC and Contender Series every week, but live betting, man, it's just becoming a more and more important part of the portfolio. And as of last night, yes, now I am betting more on live bets during the show. So that's my thing. Live betting is just it's way too valuable. If you don't have it as part of your portfolio, I think you're missing out. So that's my thing. All right, let's bring in Drew. We got to talk some MLB. Hello, Drew.
Andy, what is up? Dan, hope you're doing well. Good intro there, guys. You guys went over a lot, man. Dolly Parton, R.I.P. You're right. Like, who hates Dolly Parton? Absolutely. With your Burns thing on the golf, I was buddies with one of the better golfers in high school in the state of Florida. He went on to, I believe it was called the Hooters Tour. And one thing whenever I see him, it's the tour under the PGA. It used to be called that. Is I ask him about golf betting and what he suggests, and he's like, when a guy's hot, ride him. When he's not, stay away. And it's kind of the trend is your friend, and it definitely stays there in golf. So I wanted to throw that out there from the one guy who's very good on the links. And when you guys are talking about ladders in live betting, absolutely, especially in UFC. And then the ladders, one thing, I don't know if it's definitely called a ladder, like definitionally, but in the sport of baseball, if you like a starting pitcher versus the opposing lineup matchup, to get him on the over outs, to get him on the over strikeouts, to get him in the first 5. I'm not sure if that's technically a ladder, but I use that in my strategy in MLB.
It's close. It's on the same realm. It's the premise is if you have a strong handicap, how can you capitalize on multiple ways?
Get down in different ways. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So we're looking at some of the alt totals and the alt spreads. So yesterday's play was the Mystics minus. We talked about minus 1.5 here, and we said take minus 2.5, minus 3.5, minus 4.5, minus 5.5. Now you're into really big 2-to-1s, 3-to-1s, and they won by 10. So if you would have laddered that thing up, we could be sitting here today going, hey, we just hit 8 plays at plus money on one handicap. So your point is 100% accurate, Drew.
Yeah, I think the only thing, because I like to do that with like big point spreads and mostly college football. I'd like to do it more in college basketball, but like you're saying, like with lacrosse, sometimes the alt lines really aren't there. And sometimes it depends how much they're actually charging you, because if you're going from, let's say, minus 28 to minus 30, laying it with a big favorite because you think they're going to blow them out, and it goes from like minus 110 to, you're only getting like plus 140. Well, maybe it's worth it, but at some point it gets a little expensive, and I'm not sure if all the value's there. So it kind of like depends a little bit in my mind.
Yeah, it's picking your spots. That's the thing. We're not doing this every day. Not even doing it every week. But if you can find that one sweet spot, then that's where it's at. So, all right, Drew, I'll let you and Dan talk. We got a couple of games to break down. The floor is yours, Dan.
Yeah, Drew, let's get into this Cubs and Diamondbacks game because it almost just feels like, for really these two teams this entire season, you wait until, talk about live betting, wait until they get behind and then bet who's ever trailing. Because correct me if I'm wrong, Drew, I think both of these teams are tied in the majors with 40 come from behind victories apiece. Wild to me that some teams, they just refuse to die. And this is a series that we're looking at that's split here. We got one win one way, one win the other way. And last night it was the comeback for Arizona. 5-4 was the final. So really competitive series as these teams are heating up for the playoff push. What are you seeing in this one, Drew?
Yeah, great stat there, Dan. I mean, and when you're talking about coming from behind, we were just talking about laddering up bets. How about the correlation of coming from behind and good offenses? You got to be able to score if you're behind. And sure enough, both of these lineups have been hitting the ball very well, both top 10 by weighted runs created plus the last 2 weeks. And how about it? The number 1 versus number 2 lineups in all of Major League Baseball against lefties, both of them facing a lefty here. So 2 southpaws going against number 1 and number 2 lineups against lefties. And Matt Boyd for the Cubs, 11 earned runs his last 2 starts, lasting just 11 innings. That's not great numbers. 5-5 strikeout to walk ratio. And Erod on the other side, look, overall 13-4, great numbers. But the last time he faced the Cubs, he had a 7 FIP. Now, he didn't give up a bunch of earned runs, 3 earned runs in 5 innings, but they had the bat on the ball against Erod. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Cubs put up good numbers as well. We see Chicago, over 4 of their last 5. Arizona, over in 6 of their last 8. These two teams have been cashing over tickets. The Diamondbacks bullpen hasn't been all great shakes. We're talking in the desert, second highest elevation home field advantage here. I think the ball is flying here in Arizona. So 8.5, I think it's low, guys. We're betting at action, and we're going over Cubs and Diamondbacks. Early start. Don't wait around too long.
Run, do not walk. We're playing the over, and make sure the pitchers are listed. That's the breakdown from Drew Martin. WT.buzz/DM is where you can find him. And Drew, talking about plays we really like, man, before we break down this Yankees game coming up, you got one tonight that folks can find over at your page, WT.buzz/DM, that you're really liking this evening.
Yeah, got a big one lined up for tonight. So, Dan, the big plays have been good. I think it's 18-5 this season. So we're trying to run with it, and we picked one out here on the Wednesday night slate. That hey, if you want to check it out, a couple ways to get it. 1, you can get the package. 2, you can get college football, Major League Baseball, heavily discounted, or the full season, the full year. Is probably what I would suggest. But yeah, Dan, a big one locked and loaded for the Wednesday night on the Diamond slate.
Yeah, and I think one more that I'd like to mention too, Drew, is this would be a great candidate if you want a shorter term package, but you want to get in. You can grab the 5% or sure, it's going to cost you $35. Pay $69, you'll get 3 days of access. We'll tack on an extra 3, and that expires at the end of this month. This is stackable. You can use it at anyone's page, but with a 5%er tonight, if you don't want to hop in and grab everything long-term, I think that's a great way to check out Drew's 5%er tonight, WT.buzz/DM. All right, Drew, let's talk Astros and Yankees. Man, this this series, Houston needs to get on a little bit of a run in a bad way, simply because how top heavy that division is and how everyone is jockeying for position. They get the 9-7 win to start off this series. They have a nice little trip here in New York. They play the Yankees and then they play the Mets. One of those series seems a little bit tougher than the other, but they got the win in game one. You think Houston makes it 2 in a row here, Drew? How are you seeing this one?
You know, Lambert, the starter for the Astros, has been a guy that I think has been a little bit underrated. I'm not so sure that the Astros are getting enough of a plus price here, Dan. So this is one that I actually didn't bet. And I know it's a lot of people like to hear about the Bronx Bombers. It's one of those things. I was actually looking to talk another big team, the Dodgers and the Braves, a possible National League playoff preview.
Gotcha. That's on Drew. That one's on me, brother. I was so when I was looking, we were setting this game up. A lot of people like talking about the Yankees, as Drew said. So that was a game that we were going to speak on. And then Drew writes, in we'll talk Cubs and D-backs, out Astros Yankees. So my dumb brain, coming off of recording Bet on it, said we'll do Cubs Diamondbacks as the intro, and then the outro will be Astros and Yankees. So yes, Drew, apologies for me. Preseason is in full form for me, but yeah, let's switch this one in, and you can break down our other matchup here, Drew. Hands up. I'm not perfect, you know.
No. I was trying to do my segue, and if you wouldn't,
I had to get full transparency. You know,
okay.
I want to peel back the curtain and let folks know what goes on in the production meetings here. So, Drew, now the floor, my friend, is yours.
Yeah, another big time matchup though. The Dodgers and the Braves, possible NL playoff preview. Wouldn't be surprised at all. And let's look at the Dodgers. You know, 80 wins on the season, and they've been road warriors. 40-25 coming into this. However, you know, losing just yesterday, 6-1 their last 7, a team I'm not looking to go against though. And the Braves, you can say a lot of the same, you know, they get Smith Short on the hill, the 23-year-old. It's only his 3rd start though, since coming off of the IL. And sure enough, he's given up 6 earned runs, 5 walks, and 8 innings pitched. So there's some kind of, you know, when a pitcher comes off the IL and he hasn't been his best, it's not necessarily a situation I go, you know what, this is the time I want to bet on him, particularly when he's up against the Dodgers lineup. I actually think the Dodgers get after him here. And Roki Sasaki on the hill for the Dodgers, 6 straight starts, 2 earned runs or less. He has not lost the game since the month of June. So Dodgers, I think this number is short here, Dan. Laying the 20 cents is what I got him at last night. But yeah, I'm going Dodgers over Braves in Cobb County, Georgia today.
Yeah, it makes sense to me, Drew. And regardless what game you're breaking down, Drew, you know you're getting a hell of a good breakdown from a man at Drew Martin Bets. Drew, you kind of alluded to it when we were talking about the 5%er that's going tonight, but college football is right around the corner. We talked about it last week when we had you on, you know, how you're gearing up for college football. We got week 0 in action. So 5%er is there. Or as you mentioned, Drew, check out this deal that we got rocking. Talk a little bit about as we turn the page into college football. This one's a no-brainer, man.
Yeah, I got the baseball season rolling along nicely, Dan. And how about it? College football, you know, on a 9-0 run. That's how I ended last season. So I'm looking to carry that college football streak into this season. It looks like week 0. I've gone through every game. I don't think I'm going to have one, actually, guys. There are a couple games I have circled, gonna get down on and watch them. But in terms of handing them out to the clients, we're going to wait until week 1. We got a couple games here. We got the season win total package coming out this week as well in college football. You get all that with the full season NFL college football. You could go with the combo or this special, the Major League Baseball and college football season, which have been money makers for a couple years now. So, yeah, really exciting time to be a sports bettor and ready to get after it, Dan.
Love it, man. You can check out Drew, WT.buzz/DM, a great follow on X as well at Drew Martin Bets. Drew, always a pleasure, my friend. We will see you next Wednesday, and soon on the docket will be some college football games for you to be breaking down here live on the show. So, folks, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And, Drew, best of luck, man.
It will be fun. Cash those tickets, boys. Enjoy Skee Profit in the WNBA winners, we'll call them.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I love it.
Dang it. Drew beat me. I thought I was the king of bringing a winning streak from last season into this season. I was like, hey,
That's well done, though.
College football
Hey,
season 5-0. Drew's like, oh, really?
Hot, Andy, you can't start hot if you didn't end hot. I like it. Man. And he's dialed in, and he's going to be dialed this fall, man. It's what he does. It's Drew Martin.
Yeah, we got a 4% college football bet that is up, but I need a little bit of help. I got a couple nominees. So what I'm going to do every week for college football, you guys know I went to Indiana University, and you've heard me talk about one of my best friends who's my next door neighbor. He's a big Ohio State guy. Every week I'm going to do a breakdown of the IU and Ohio State games of the week. Of course, that will culminate when they play each other in the middle of the season. But I've started doing all my research, really deep diving these teams. I'm going to record a video and just do like season win totals for them. Dude, have you seen Ohio State's schedule? Oh my God. They play like multiple top 5 teams.
Yeah.
Like they loaded up their schedule. And I think this is sneakily, this is one of the reasons why they keep adding teams to the football playoff, because Ohio State can drop a couple games. In years past,
yes.
You're out. But they got IU on the schedule. They got Texas. They got who else? They got several other ones. So
at
you can
USC,
drop a couple games. Yeah,
they play Oregon. I mean, that's a home game. They end the season against Michigan. I mean, they even have that trip. Sure, they're going to be big favorites, but it's always tough playing that defense in Iowa. That's how they start off October. And like you said, in week 2. Okay, they're going to beat up on Ball State, and then it's Texas on the road. Like this is
brutal,
and that's a look ahead spot of all look ahead spots right there when you have Texas and Ball State on deck. But in week 1, hard to play a look ahead spot because they've been getting ready for exactly.
The spread is 50.5.
I can't make a case for Ball State, so.
I'm trying to come up with a name for what's the name of a show where you break down like the Indiana Hoosiers and Ohio State. The best one I could come up with was the Hoosiers and Buckeyes breakdown.
That's pretty good.
You like
pretty
it?
Good, but they did trademark that, Andy. So you got to be careful of how hard you hit that. The
what if I added a question on the Hoosiers and Buckeye break? That was
when they were selling hats, Andy, that just said the on it. Well, yeah.
I love it. My buddy has one of those. I love it. I think they're really cool. Yeah, I love that hook on Ball State. Yeah, listen, you're laying off 51.5, but
you that hook.
Yep. So, all right. What do we have? We have a 4% MLB play that goes off in the middle of the afternoon. It's a pitching prop. The one yesterday, the pitcher got scratched. Sorry about that, guys. Nothing we could do about that one. But we're back today with another pitching prop. Again, I don't do spreads, totals. Although we've been doing good on this show with people just impromptu asking about what we think. We gave out some plus monies yesterday. So, they got that. We have a 4% tour championship play, 4% college football, 4% UFC. So just a couple plays in multiple different sports. That's over at WT.buzz/AL. Great time for a 3-day pass. Like you said, the summer special. We've only got a few days left of it. And Steve Merrill does a good job. You can buy multiple of these things and keep them. So
you could ladder them.
You could ladder up the 3-day passes. Yeah. So you're getting half price 6-day passes, but pretty good opportunity to get all the way through the weekend for us. So, all right, let's bring on Skee. We got to talk about not the greatest slate of games tonight, but we were talking before. Congratulations, Skee. You put the Mystics in as a client play yesterday. I didn't have the onions. I laid off. Congratulations. No sweat, winner.
Appreciate it. Yeah, yesterday ended up being a good day. Went 2-0, had that Mystics bet, and then had I can't remember what the other one was, but it was a winner. So I'm happy.
That's all that matters. So, all right, we don't
really
have.
Quick, you talked about a lot of good stuff. I wanted to comment on some of them if it's okay.
Yeah.
Oh, hell
please do.
You talked about laddering bets, and I haven't done it all the time, but there are definitely some good times to ladder bets. Like the one that sticks in my mind the most, where I made a lot of money, was back when Hallie was on the Kings, and you can see he's gonna get more time. He's racking up the assists so easily. His assist line was like 4.5, 5.5. I was laddering it up to 10 and just like cashing out. So when you find change like with a player or a team like that, you can get some value and ladder those bets up. So I thought that was some good stuff for sure.
I'm hoping to get good lines on Paul George over 3-pointers to start the season. He's going to be their spot up shooter for threes. I imagine he's going to get a lot of them. So what else were you wanting to discuss?
Two things, if you know, my bad if I'm holding up the show.
Never.
Live
You're
betting.
you're the only guest we have on right now.
Okay.
There's nobody
I'm
behind
not
you.
the
You
most
are the show,
long-winded.
Skee.
I'm not the most long-winded, so maybe this is good. Live betting, a lot of people might not know. The first show I ever did was a live betting NBA show. So I'm very familiar. That was like close to a decade ago. You can absolutely find some good spots to live bet. My advice would be have a script, how you expect the game to go, and you see what's happening on the court. You'll find either substitutions, momentum changes that you're looking for, and then you jump in and take advantage in that way. So I do think live betting is great. And last but not least, this one is more so just an opinion and a shout out. I want to give credit to Miss Angel Reese, who has her team on a 4-game win streak in the 4th spot. Half a game, in the 4th spot, whatever, 4-game win streak. She's averaging 20.8 points per game, 15 rebounds per game, 4.3 assists per game, 3.5 steals per game. The only NBA or WNBA player to put up those numbers over a 4-game span. Charles Barkley and Hakeem Olajuwon. Only players. So a lot of people give her a lot of shit. I'm gonna go ahead and give her some credit for how she's playing right now.
I'm an Angel Reese fan. You know this. She strikes me a lot like Rodman. Just tenacious on the boards, could struggle with layups, but is just that beast on the inside. So I also got to say,
she's not the greatest at layups, but she's gotten a lot better. Like the first year, it was really bad, really, really, really bad. But I've seen her put in work with some people in the off season, and I'm seeing her making some of those shots that she was missing in previous years. So she's getting better if she can continue to work. I'm gonna be honest. Asia Wilson, I might get some shit for this, but I was always an Asia Wilson fan, right? Asia Wilson was not always this good. She was not anywhere near this good. She put a lot of work into her game and added a lot of things to her game. So to look like how she looks like right now. I'm not saying Angel Reese is going to be Asia Wilson, but these players, you can see them improve a hell of a lot over, a couple years. Angel Reese could look really, really, really good in 2 more years.
Yeah, I was also going to bring this up. I think someone got into Caitlin Clark's ear and told her to knock it off with bitching at the refs. The last few games, it's been an enjoyable watch. I'm like, whoa, either I don't know what flipped, but she's on fire now. She's
been playing amazing.
She's been playing great, and I think a lot of it has to do with the concentration is on playing and not necessarily bitching at the refs. This is the Luka, thing. You watch the Lakers, how infuriating it is when Luka doesn't get back on defense because he's screaming at a ref and they're playing 4-on-5. But yes, something happened. Like the last few games, I was like, oh, this is a really enjoyable. I'm really thoroughly enjoying watching the Fever. So
they've been playing some great basketball. CC especially. CC and Kelsey, that's like an insane. It's like Luka, Austin Reeves almost like.
that 1-2 is insanity, man. That's a hell of a combo. So all right, well, let's talk about these games tonight. We got one game that on paper should be an ass kicking, the Valkyries and the Sun. We'll start there. Well, I mean, we were saying before, this is a tough one for Connecticut Sun fans to get up to go watch your team get obliterated. The total is hilarious to me. What are we looking at? 151.5. I can't argue with it. On sheer principle, I would have to take an over on a 151.5. I know it's the Valkyries with their defense. I know it's the Sun. What are your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, sheer principle. I'm not looking to take too many under 151.5. So, pretty much it's got to be brick after brick after brick to get that one to stay under. But I don't know. I'm looking at it a little bit different here. I think those people in Connecticut will get up for this game. I mean, how many games do they have left for this Connecticut Sun team before they move away? I think they're getting up for every game at the house. Yes, Connecticut Center unrested, but they didn't have to travel. You look at them yesterday; they won as an underdog. I mean, they've been doing that all year as a home dog. 11-4 ATS. This has been their role. They play hard for their fans. Like I said, they know it's their last year playing there, and they know how big the women's basketball fan base is in Connecticut. So you're going to get effort. You could get Griner back in there tonight after she missed yesterday. Nelson Adota could be back in there after missing yesterday. This Valkyries team, only 3-5, I believe, as a road favorite. I'm pretty sure 3-5. And also, they play tomorrow. I mean, yes, they need to win games because they have the Aces on their back. They're in the second seed, I think a game ahead of the Aces. But do they need to win by 13.5 with the game tomorrow versus the Liberty? I don't know. I think they could absolutely get away with the win, but I don't think they get away with the cover. I think Connecticut is the right side.
All right, yeah, I'm not laying that big of a point spread on a team when they got a game tomorrow. So just going to casually just throw out there that Angel Reese just happens to be 18th in the league in scoring. Moving on to the next game, Tempo and the Storm. Just saying she can't score is not true. All right, Tempo and the Storm, two bad teams here. Just on principle, I would take the points regardless. I can't get there to the window on anything on here. What do you think?
Yeah, this is a pretty bad game, honestly. I can't see too many people watching this one. I know I probably can find something better to do with my time than watch this one. You're missing too much. Like Mabry's out, Sykes is done for the year, Alamon is out. Like, yes, you have Kiki Rice, but the guard play for Toronto is just gonna be lacking. And they're already just not a good team. They depend so heavily on Marina Mabry. When she's not out there, it's hard to see, them scoring a lot of points. For Seattle, I mean, I'm kind of feeling the same thing. Since Natisha Heidemann has gone down, this offense, they stink. They've fallen off a cliff. And now you might not have Flauget as well tonight. I mean, the guard play for Seattle could be absolutely terrible tonight. So 2 teams where I think the guard play is going to be bad. I know Toronto's defense has not been the best, but it's no way I could bet on both of these offenses with the players who could be available tonight to get over 175. I think under is the play in this game.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, that's going to be a rough one. I will not be watching the Tempo and the Storm tonight. I will be. Of course, I'm going to see the Odyssey today, Skee.
Oh, I saw it. It's good.
It's a good movie.
That's what Dan said. I can't wait.
It doesn't feel like it's 3 hours long, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's long. But
it doesn't feel like it.
I agreed to go to the movie, and I said, okay, I'll go watch your movie you want to watch. And, can we bring a blanket? Because I'm probably going to sleep. I did not go to sleep, so it was pretty good.
Can I bring a pillow and a blanket to the Odyssey?
That's an epic ass.
It's really good. That's really good. So, oh man. All right. So what do you have up for everybody at WagerTalk?
I do have a play for tonight. I talked about both games already. And I did play one of them. So that is up for tonight. And I'll give you a heads up. My 5% plays, I won 16 of the last 20. 2026, I am currently at 125 units positive. I have a 5% I'm loading tomorrow. I just was finishing up my write-up. I didn't get it in time before, the show started today, but it's going to be up probably in the next hour or two. And we'll be ready to rock and roll. That 5% will go tomorrow. So if you're interested in that, maybe you get an all access pass. You get today's play, tomorrow's play. I know we have that 6 days, $69 promo that we've had for this month. I think that's a good way to get involved because WNBA is going to go on that break until September 17th. So you get pretty much every day until then with this special. A lot of different ways to get involved. Check it out on my page.
All right, Skee Profit joining us on Wednesday, and pretty soon we'll be talking WNBA and football with you, Skee. So can't wait for that. Appreciate you joining us. Good luck, continued success, man. Keep crushing. Thank you, Skee. All right, Skee Profit. Let's see. We got our NFL future, and this is a guy. I've got my big money fantasy draft. We do it the night before the season starts, and we're going to talk Chase Brown on Running Back Wednesday. Over under 5.5 rushing touchdowns. I will just tell you, I have the 8th overall pick, Dan, and I am really hoping to get Chase Brown on the comeback. I would love to start off with Amon-Ra St. Brown and Chase Brown here. So I'm already taking the over on this one. I'll go over the stats and my thoughts. He had 6 last year in 17 games, 7 in 2024 in 16 games. Of his 6 rushing touchdowns, 5 of those came with Burrow as the quarterback. That was only 8 games. So when Burrow plays, obviously the offense is better, and so is he. The offensive line does have to get better. They are returning all 5 of their starters. They have some young guys that, according to PFF, their grades improved as the season went along, but last year was just such a disaster season for Cincy. It's not an easy schedule to start for Chase Brown. They start with Buccaneers, at Texans, at Steelers, Jags. They do have Dolphins, and then a bye week. I just love this guy's talent. I love his durability. He's a young guy. And the depth, who's behind him? Samaje Perine. This is your goal line back for Cincinnati. If Joe Burrow can even just stay a little bit healthy, this offense is an explosion waiting to happen, and I get the lead running back. This is an easy over for me. What do you think?
Yeah, Andy, I'm very bullish heading into the season here on Chase Brown as well. You know, for the DFS players, fantasy players, I too am a guy who I'm hoping I can have this guy swing back to me and get him as a second round back. The share that this guy holds in an offense that needs to be much improved. I know a lot of folks talk about how Cincinnati has beefed up the defense, this, that, and the other thing. They're a team who just historically in this era have been shootout teams. So I want pieces of that offense. And obviously, the headliner is Jamar Chase in this one, but I think folks are thinking about the other Chase in this offense, and that's Chase Brown. And I'd also feel like there's a misnomer on Chase Brown that that he's a little bit more of a receiving back and everything. But last year, Andy, I believe it was just 4 or 5 receiving touchdowns that he had. So you're looking, if you looked at his total touchdowns, you're probably looking at a number more like 10.5. And I'm right there with you, Andy. Samaje Perine at this point in his career isn't cutting into the work that Chase Brown is going to do. Sure, he'll be there to spell him, but Chase Brown is 3 down back as 3 down backs come, and especially for an offense that they like him in the blocking game. That has improved. This offensive line should be improved. This offense as a whole should be putting up a lot of points. So I'm right there with you, Andy. You laid out the numbers of what he has gotten. He's also a guy who's relatively durable. Give me Chase Brown over the 5.5 rush touchdowns. This is one that I would bet. This is a guy who's going to be a anytime touchdown for the games that make sense for me. He'll be on anytime touchdown cards for me. I'm in on Chase Brown. I think 5.5 touchdowns is not insultingly low, Andy, but this number should at least be a full touchdown higher.
I agree. I think this is good enough for a client play. I'm probably going to put this one in. I don't put in a whole lot of overs. So I got to tell you, man, you know what, we went over it. The one I'm loving more and more is this Chargers over 9.5 wins. I think the Chargers are going to be so good.
You're charged up.
I really am, man.
That offense should be good. Mike McDaniel in town. Like I like that collaboration because Harbaugh will take some of McDaniel's douchiness away. You know what I mean? Like he'll be like, quit that shit, knock that shit off. You know what I mean? Have full length pants when you come out here. You know what I mean? So I think that's a good pairing of those two personalities.
Yeah, and the narrative is just how bad the Bengals should be the best over team in the NFL. Yeah, their offense is going to score points. Defense ain't stopping anybody. Them are the Cardinals. The Cardinals over in the second half of the season.
And it has nothing to do with the Cardinals.
Yeah, they'd be down 30-0 at halftime. Final score 30-24. Over hits by a touchdown. No, just the how bad Tua is looking in Atlanta. And now you're going, my God, maybe Mike McDaniel is a mad scientist. Maybe he is a genius that he got that out of Tua. So
that's a good point.
No, listen, the offensive line, yeah, if they could just be a little bit healthy, not all the way healthy, just a little bit healthy, I love them. So that's my team I'm big on. So
I don't hate that.
Yes. The McDaniel reaction to Herbert throwing the ball was truly hilarious. He was like, "Oh my God, wait, that's my quarterback. That's our quarterback throwing that."
He was like,
that
"Holy
dart
shit, he
down
can
the
throw a
field.
spiral." Oh my God.
This is amazing. Yeah. So, all right. At last, so we're doing our live show in Contender Series, and Yanni's live at the event, but he has to give out plays. Okay. But he's in Vegas, so he doesn't have any of the props that we have. Well, there's guys that are like minus 1,100 and minus 1,200. There was a minus 36. So Yanni literally has nothing to give out except juicy plays. And so poor Yanni, this had to be his nightmare. I'm going to ask about it tomorrow. They would cut to him like, Yanni, what do you think of this play? And he's like, well, statistically speaking, I like Humphrey by finish at minus 750. Like, it just had to drive him.
What do you want him to do?
Bonkers. It was so funny. I can't wait to ask him about it, because that had to be his own personal nightmare. So, all right, slew of 4% plays that are up for clients, including an afternoon MLB prop. Don't buy just a play. Go get this 6-day pass for only $69. You get a 4% play that goes off today. You get a 4% golf play that goes off tomorrow. Any plays we have through the weekend. 4% college football is up, going for 6 in a row. And we got a 4% UFC play that is up for UFC Shanghai. That fight card starts, Dan, at a ripe 3 a.m. Ugh.
Are you going to live stream for that?
Yeah.
Dude, you're an animal. You're a true
animal.
Listen,
I know how this goes, because I've tried to convince myself, no, I'm not going to get up and do a live stream. Here's what happens.
You're going to wake up anyway.
My brain at 2:30 is going to wake up, and I'm going to be like, I wonder what's going on with the fight. I've tried this multiple times. It doesn't work. The first time I get up and it's even remotely near the start, I'm just up. And on top of that, Jan, this is a perfect start time for his. Starts at like 8 a.m. his time. So, like, he finally gets a fight card that's during the day. So I'll get up, do the live stream, go take a nap, and then BKFC is that night anyway. So I'll do multiple live streams this weekend. So, all right. Coffee and Red Bull. Ew. Dude,
Jesus.
I used to, before it came out, like how awful Red Bull was for you. I used to have one every Saturday. I would ref this basketball league, and I would stop and get one.
Up.
Oh, and then it comes out, it's like worse for you than drinking kerosene. It's just like awful.
It basically is kerosene, yeah.
I lived with a guy, he was in his early 20s. He drank 2 things, Red Bull and Newcastle beer. He never drank water. He had kidney stones in like his early 20s. It was like, maybe get some H2O in that bloodstream there, brother.
I had a buddy, same kind of deal. I had a buddy who when we were just out in California when I got married, he came out and he drank a bottle of water for what he believes was the first time in his life. The only thing that he would drink was red Gatorade, like the fruit punch Gatorade. And now this past year, Andy, he found out that he has the most insane diabetes of all time because of the fact that
I wonder why.
Yeah, exactly. I wonder how that happened. Chicken nuggets and just straight up never drank water before. He was like drinking the bottle of water, gagging actively, Andy. So there are some of those anomalies out there.
Oh my God.
There are some. Yeah, he thought it was disgusting just drinking the water. I love cold glass of water, man. Nothing hits quite different. I don't pay for it either, cats. I use one of these.
One of the best things my wife and I did when we renovated our condo, when we moved in, we ponied up for a big filtration system. So I get perfect water out of the.
That was our first investment, Andy. We bought the new house. We smelled and looked at how hard the water was and how it smelled like chemicals. I said, okay, $7,500 water treatment facility in the basement. Worth it. Worth every single penny.
Every penny, dude. Just I drink 4 of these a day. Fresh, delicious, awesome water. It definitely is. Your buddy probably, honestly, Dan, he probably doesn't have diabetes. He probably just has high blood sugar. Like there's a difference. No, there's because diabetes is when your body doesn't produce insulin the correct way. Yeah. He probably just has a lot of sugar in his system. If he would stop for like 2 weeks, it probably comes back down.
His blood color is like the same color as that fruit punch Gatorade. It's tough.
Red Gatorade. That is wild.
His entire life. He had a red mustache every time I would see him. Red mustache.
Oh man. Oh, good stuff. Well, thank you everybody for Jesus Christ. I used to eat spoons of the dried grease out of the Fry Daddy when I was young. I think I'll know how I'll be leaving the earth. I am happy you're still here with us, man. I am happy you are still here with us.
Wow.
Jesus Christ. No.
Sometimes, Andy, you read a sentence and you're like, I'm the only person in my entire lineage that has ever read those words. And when I think this is the first time all of us viewers have ever read this combination of words in a single sentence.
Wild times. Wild times. All right. Thanks for joining us. Hit the like button. Drop a comment below if you got a name for a show where I break down Ohio State and Indiana college football every week throughout the season. We got some good suggestions. Seth's suggestions is pretty good. The OHIU is really good. It's really, really good. So, all right. Thanks for watching, guys. Let's cash some tickets today. We'll be back tomorrow. Start getting ready for the weekend. And tomorrow, NFL preseason. We will start talking about that. The joint practices will be wrapped up. We'll be ready for games. We'll see if we have another must-win practice at the end
Big
of
time.
the day. Big time.
Big time.
Win. Yeah. All right. Best of luck. We'll see everyone tomorrow. Same time, same place.